In this second question, explain the meaning of this term standard enthalpy change of reactions. So this is not your usual formation or combustion, that you usually get in AS, but there are 2 marks to it. One of the marks is definitely for these standard conditions, which are 29 at Kelvin and 1 atm pressure. Enthalpy change is just the enthalpy change. However, we know the enthalpy change is in kilojoule per mole. So it is not to do just with energy. It is per mole of something. Per mole of what? Just like for formation, we are talking about 1 mole of substance being formed. Just like for combustion, we're talking about 1 mole of substance being combusted. Just like for a reaction, what are we talking about? Per mole of what? Per mole of a stoichiometric. Stoichiometric, gotta spell this properly. So stoichiometric means it's completely used up. So stoichiometric limiting reagent. Okay, because when you have 2 reactants, if they react in an exact ratio based on the balance equation, then obviously it's stoichiometric. But sometimes you have 1 limiting and 1 excess reactant, and it has to be per 1 mole of the stoichiometric reagent or reactant, because the limiting reactant completely used up. So your enthalpy change is a result of the limiting reactant being completely used up. That's why we have to talk about limiting, just in case we have a reaction where we have limiting and excess reactants, because we cannot expect every single reaction to be in a exact stoichiometric ratio there. So what can we say here? So it is the enthalpy change when what can I say, when reacting stoichiometric quantity. So there could be more than 1 definition for this, really. I'm just talking about per mole of what, right? When reacting stoichiometric quantity of limiting reactant or limiting reagent, the one that completely get used up under standard conditions. So these standard conditions will give you the remaining marks, because they did mention they want you to talk about standard stuff, right? So standard conditions, state it out. Some marking schemes, some textbook, they don't necessarily show you these. I always maintain a good habit of asking students to write it out, because the more you remember it, the better you will know it when the question say, what are the standard conditions? If you've never done it before, you'll be tempted to say, I don't know, I always write standard conditions, but you're expected to know it as they are part of the syllabus. Question part B is all about calculation. So this is about hydration. So in the new syllabus, hydration is now in the A2 syllabus. And this is part of the solubility of group 2 sulfate in A2 now. But regardless, the actual calorimetry type of question is still an AS question, so it doesn't matter, because they can still ask you anything that is related to the AS, even though it's an A2 concept, because they didn't ask you to define. They're asking you to do calculations based on the AS chemistry. So what we have is we have a polystyrene cup, and we support it on the beaker. We put a thermometer in there because we need to measure the initial and final temperature. We don't measure change in temperature because we cannot measure change in temperature. We can calculate change in temperature, which is the final temperature minus the initial temperature. So these are what you measure, this is what you calculate. Anyway, so what do we have? We have 45 gram of water, 45.00 gram of water. See how the accuracy is pretty high there. So this must be using quite a sophisticated mass balance that can measure up to 2 decimal place. But of course, we don't really measure the mass of water. What do we measure? We measure the volume of water, because the density of water is going to be 1 gram, 1.00 gram per cm cube, such that if you want 45.00 gram of water, you use a burette, which is very accurate. You use a burette, a very accurate apparatus, to measure this much volume of water. What else? We weigh in 3.01 gram of the solid, and then we get a temperature rising from 23.4 to 34.7. What is the amount of heat energy? So they want energy, and they want it in joule. So this is Q, which is heat energy, equal to mc delta T. Remember, the Q belongs to the water, because it's the heat energy transferred to the water, which means everything, mc delta T here, belongs to the water. Because C is the heat capacity, is the energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 Kelvin. This delta T is change in temperature, when you have a change in temperature, whether you're talking about, let's say, 0 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius, then it's the same as talking about 273 Kelvin to 298 Kelvin. You will see that the change in temperature is the same because we are talking about change in temperature being a difference there. So it doesn't make a difference. You don't need to add 273 because this is change in temperature. If you are raising the temperature of water, how can the mass be of the solid? The heat capacity is for the water, the delta T is for the water, the M is for the water. So do not get confused. Number one mistake with student is they want to use the mass here. Then they will say, but I'm adding the mass to the water. Surely I should add the mass of water plus the mass of solid. Well, you know, the solid is reacting with the water, is getting hydrated, which means the temperature changes for the water. So, you know, it doesn't include the mass of the solid. So it has to be just the mass of the water. It's 45.00 multiplied by 4.18 multiplied by 3. Oops, see, I nearly make a mistake there. The change in temperature there. So we read the question again from 20. So it's going to be the final temperature, 34.7 minus 23.4. Change in temperature is the same. I do not need to add 273 there. So Q equal to, and just press your calculator carefully. Use bracket for the last computation there, so that you don't make any mistake. So 2125.53 joule. Do I want to run up? Perhaps not, because this is not the last bit of the question. But if you do decide to run up, I would say 4 significant figure will be okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the mass given. 1, 2, 3 significant figure for the temperature there. 3 significant figure for the mass, which you haven't used in here. But usually, I mean, the next bit of the question is about enthalpy change and stuff, so you can run up in the last bit of the question. All right, I don't need to write down the unit because the unit there is already in joule, as there is joule per gram per Kelvin. Multiply by gram per gram cancel, multiply by the change in temperature. In Kelvin is the same as degrees Celsius for the change in temperature, so that cancel out. You get a unit there in joule there. The next one, calculate the mole of MgSO4 dissolved. So we need mass of Mr, so the mole equal to mass of Mr. So what is the Mr of MgSO4? Well, you look straight into your predict table. So Mg is 24.3 plus 16.0 times 4 for the 4 oxygen plus 32.1 for the sulfur, that is 120.4. So we had 3.01 gram of the MgSO4 divided by 120.4. So 3.01 divided by 120.4, I get 0.025 mole. So pretty straightforward there. But as for whether I want to leave it to 2 significant figure or not, perhaps not. These are 3 significant figure. This mass with 3 significant figure. This is 4 significant figure. My calculator does not decide on what is appropriate number of significant figure. I would reckon that I will add 1 more 0 at the end, such that I have 1, 2, and 3 significant figure. Calculate enthalpy change. You must include a sign. The moment you talk about enthalpy, we must already have a sign. We knew that the temperature rises. That was what we were told. The water is the surrounding. If the solution rises in temperature, that's because the reaction gives out heat energy. So 2125.53 is in joule. So I divided by 1000. So I multiply by 10 to the minus 3, which is the same as divided by 1000. I'll convert that to kilojoule. I divide by the mole of the solid that reacted, and I have a negative in front for my enthalpy change. And then I'm just going to cut and copy it onto here. So this was my heat energy transferred, converted to kilojoule by dividing by 1000 or multiply by 10 to the minus 3. At the bottom was my mole of the solid that dissolved. So previous answer, 2125.53 divided by 1000 or times 10 to the minus 3 divided by 0.0250. I get minus 85.0212. Too many significant figure. I would say 3 or 4 significant figure would be alright, because earlier you had the volume of the water used was 4 significant figure, but you also had these masses and the mole that we continued from these masses of the solid. They were all to 3 significant figure. Appropriate number of significant figure, 3 or 4 significant would be okay. 2 significant figure, not very okay. Sign, value, and unit there. Now in this next bit, use the equation below to construct a suitable, fully labeled energy cycle. What do we have? We have hydration, right? So it's Mg2 plus aqueous. Now this is a question which you might not get in the current syllabus because the hydration enthalpy in terms of the definitions, you haven't really done it that much in your current syllabus until you get to A2. So what do we have here? So we are hydrating the solid. So that is the hydration of the entire solid. So this is what you want. And we have the enthalpy change of solution for the hydrated salt. So hydrated salt is on the right hand side. So this is enthalpy change hydration for the MgSO4.7H2O. This is equal to plus 9.60 kilojoule per mole. And we have the enthalpy of solution. So again, enthalpy of solution is now in the A2 syllabus. So this is probably more relevant to the A2 syllabus. But of course, you know, if they ask you in practical, it's perfectly okay if they label the thing for you and then they ask you to work out what is this missing thing here. So Hess law says that the enthalpy change of a reaction does not depend on the path you take, whether it's direct route or indirect route. We're going to take an indirect route here. So this red color one, delta H equal to minus 85.0 kilojoule per mole equal to the hydration of the MgSO4. Since we are in the same direction, I do not need to change the sign. I just keep it plus. But I'm going opposite direction, so I have to go this way. So I have to minus the hydration of that. So it's minus. Use a bracket. Always use a bracket. Direction matters. So if I want my hydration of the MgSO4, I keep this one here. I move the minus, this thing in bracket, minus then plus become minus. Minus 9.60 move to the other side become plus 9.60 minus 85.0, and your calculator should now show you minus 75.4 kilojoule per mole. Sign, value, and unit there. Okay. Actually, they are asking you for the calculation further down here for the last marks. They just want you to complete the cycle there. So I guess I can just move my stuff down there fairly easily since I'm working on screen. But yeah, that's why I thought they were a bit stingy when they gave only like 1 mark for this thing here. But anyway, so you do get another 1 mark for completing the calculation there, sign, value, and unit. So that's the end of that 7 mark enthalpy change question.